listening to our previous episode 40, esteemed audience, available now. It's incredible. Make it a double feature. But during that episode, I thought it was so prescient because you talked at length about how you said an aspiring recluse, and that if you had the opportunity, if you could have food delivery, you'd be happy to go away for at least 6 months at a time, maybe come out to travel. So here we are. It's July 14th, 2020 is when we're recording this. So how's quarantine working out for you?
I'm doing very well, I think, compared to most people. As I was telling you, it's July 14th. I have not been in a single other building besides my parents' house since March 9th. So no stores, no doctor's appointments, nothing. So I always joked growing up with my mom, I was like, I'm going to be a hermit when I grow up. And she was like, no, Annie, you're not. And I was like, just watch me, And she was like, right, whatever. And now I'm like, look at me living my best life. I get food delivered, anything I need, I just order it offline. So I'm making it through, I think, a lot better than most people. Plus, I've got a super active imagination. So that keeps me busy, keeps me writing, keeps me thinking. I'm not really tethered to one place. That probably sounds weird, but I can go anywhere I want in my mind and just be in that world for a while and think about that.
Yeah, it's just you're just kind of following your bliss. I assume you're working from home.
Yes.
Part-time, or at least part-time as well, then?
Yeah, still working from home full-time. For those of you who are curious, I work at Wiley Publishing. They do the Dummies books, so Computers for Dummies, Raising Dogs for Dummies. I'm on their content marketing team. So all those fun emails you get that are like, have you used your 20% off coupon? I get to write those.
Really, at the bottom of every email, just to annoy people, that you should put from the author of Tiger Queen. Oh, well,
right?
A little more.
Too bad every email has to go through 20 different steps, but I should sneak it in there at the bottom and just be like, what do you mean we can't add that? Of course we can.
Would impress customers. I bet you'd sell more of whatever books Wiley's actually trying to move.
Right. I know. I mean, we reach out to a lot of teachers, so I should just start sticking in there. Be like, man, you tired of teaching calculus? Why not teach Tiger Queen? I've got teachers' guides available on my
website. Well, here's an ethics question that we can cut this out if it's terrible. But you don't ask, you don't get. Is there an ethics breach if you take some of those email addresses that you're sending out for Wiley and you're already sending them stuff about books?
I think
probably
it would be
a bad move.
Yeah, they opted into Wiley's email, and they haven't opted into my personal email, so I think I would probably get in a lot of trouble for that.
That's why I would get fired from Wiley. It's good.
I would love to send them emails, but no, I'd rather keep my job.
So. Well, that's important. We were talking before about staying in, and I know that I'm frustrated by the number of Americans who are just not reading the news. I was telling you about my son and I finally got sick of quarantine because we've been home. We haven't been interacting with people for 4 months. And we just took a drive just to keep the car running, make sure it's, still capable of leaving should the need arise. And we drove around and we drove by our local pool and we saw that there were tons of people in it. We saw that that there were people in line, a long line for a carousel. We saw people just not social distancing. We saw crowded picnic tables. It was a beautiful summer day here in Indiana. And then I came home feeling like the conspiracy theorist. I had to reread some articles about COVID-19. I didn't make that up, right? There is an infectious disease sweeping the country. And I know you're taking this more seriously than most. I'm not going to explain your condition to you. You tell us.
Yes, I know. Most people are like, Annie, wow, you're an extreme hermit. And I am high risk. And so I think that is a factor. I have asthma. I've had it since I was born. And I was kind of talking with you earlier about this. But asthma is one of the reasons I became a writer. Because when I was younger, I had to have breathing machine treatments every couple of hours. And so it was a very loud machine. It still is a loud machine. But it was hard because I couldn't like hear the TV or anything over it because it was so loud. So what my mom would do is she'd read to me, because if she kind of sat behind me and read into my ear, I could hear what she was reading. And so stories were always a way for me to escape as a child. I wasn't that sick kid tethered to a machine. I was Harry Potter under the stairs. I was a hobbit on an adventure. I was a princess. I was, a thief. I was whatever it was. Those stories came alive to me. And I think that's why I love to write fantasy. I love to write about a place where you can escape to, because that's what reading was for me. It was a way to escape this reality that can be very harsh. It is still harsh even to this day. And everyone needs to be able to take a step back and find somewhere to escape to, and hopefully come back a little bit stronger, a little bit more ready to face the world and its problems after seeing some of your favorite characters do that. And so that's why I strive to write the stories that I do. And that's why, I hope everyone does wear masks. So guys, because I won't be around to to write stories if you guys don't, because I grew up having an asthma attack probably 1 or 2 times a year, and often end up in the hospital, which I hated. It's probably why I still hate hospitals to this day. Hate needles, all that kind of stuff, because I had to deal with it so often as a kid. And it was rough at times, even going on family vacations. We would have to stop at like a McDonald's back in the day, back in like the 90s, guys, and use their plugs, because nowhere had plugs back in the day either. So if we're on a road trip, we just be like, pop into a McDonald's, be like, I'd have to go behind the counter to the kitchen area and actually like plug my machine in, and do
Somebody might have been using a pay phone. It was a different world.
Right? It was such a different time back then. Now get this, they have like portable nebulizer machines. And I'm like, what? I have one, but it's not as good. So I always end up just like taking my big one with me usually when I go somewhere, because I travel a lot. So I always have like my portable one with me. If I'm like at a book event, it's probably back in my suitcase at the hotel. Like, don't leave home without it.
What just thinking, kudos to your mom for reading into your ear and getting a book, because you couldn't watch TV. If she'd been like, here, take this Game Boy or DS, I can't remember what was popular in the early 90s. I'm an old man. I don't remember what came out when. But if she handed you just Mario and said, shut up, kid. Then
but hey, now I could be a computer genius or something, or video game like master instead. But no, it was reading. So
I don't think that's the path that necessarily follows from that. Oh, Mario at a young age, computer genius it is. If only.
Right? If only. Man, I played enough Mario as a kid anyway, between 2 brothers who wanted to play like Super Smash Brothers all the time, which I'll just let you guys in on a secret. My strategy was always to just run away and hide until they both killed each other. And then I automatically came in second at least. That has always been my plan. Like, I was terrible as a kid at fighting in those games. So, I don't know.
I know last time we talked, you enthralled me with your death-defying stunts. You went cage diving with great white sharks. You went to Antarctica. You reached every continent but one. Is that still true?
No, yeah, I've been to every continent. So.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
You hit them all now. So like, asthma has not slowed you down. Doesn't seem like.
I know. That's the sad thing. Is like, I love to travel. I would love to get out there and travel right now, but obviously I'm not going anywhere. But we went on a big trip to India in December. So that was kind of nice that we had just kind of gotten back from that when coronavirus had started. So
slipped under the wire.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I mean, I can't remember. I think we flew through like Hong Kong and stuff. Like, we were all in the areas that got like pretty heavily hit like a month before the US did. And I'm like, oh man, and we were on a cruise too. So I'm like, oh, if we'd been like 2 or 3 weeks later, like, who knows what would have happened. But, there by the grace of God go I. So.
Wow, that's cutting it close.
Yeah. Now that I look back on it, I'm like, ooh, okay, well, that was interesting, but we made it. We had a wonderful time. It was awesome. So got to see the Taj Mahal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, super cool, you guys. Pictures do not do it justice. Like, they just don't. Like, I thought it was just like all white, right? Like, it's just like looks like it's this all white building. It is not. It has tons of like inlaid marble motifs just running all up and down it of flowers. And I was like, what? Who knew? I'm sure other people knew, but you know, us Americans like
privilege for you, and now you're one of them.
Yes. Oh, yes. Traveling is such a privilege and something I take very seriously and save my money to do, because I'm like, as an author, I love to see new places, you know, see how people interact with each other, just to even see new people and be like, what does their face look like? What does their nose look like? You know, anything like that I can beg, borrow, or steal and put in my book, you know?
So how are you substituting that now? With just like YouTube videos and virtual visits?
Does crying count? No, I was telling you, I set up this like awful inflatable pool for my nieces and nephews in my backyard, and it's like 12 foot around and only like 2 feet high, and plus it like slants, so it's not even straight, but whatever. And that is my beach vacation, is this awful 12-foot pool that, you know, can't even stand up straight, but it's fine. It works. I just pretend I'm floating at the beach.
Hey, that's gonna have to do it this year, unfortunately. We're doing trampoline vacations here at Casa de Cat. We've got a sprinkler that we put under the trampoline. That was a tip from Claire Sorsky, I believe, on a previous episode. So well appreciated. Get a sprinkler under a trampoline. That's the greatest time ever when you're 6.
Right. Oh, see, my dad, the attorney, we were not allowed to have a trampoline growing up, so I always wanted one so badly. I guess
just because he'd seen
so many like injuries and things, and lawsuits over it. Like, if you have a friend come over and that friend gets injured, then we can be sued. Like, you know, we always had to think about things in terms of, can we be sued for doing this? And if the answer was yes, then we're not going to do it. So
that's probably a good policy.
Right. I mean, it's good, but at the time I was like, it's a trampoline, it's gonna be fine. Like, I also
it's a safety net on ours, and nobody can come over now, so
there you go. I mean, it didn't stop me from doing gymnastics on a trampoline, but I actually almost kind of like broke my neck doing that, so it's fine.
You could have sued somebody. That would have been
right. I know.
Could have got set for life.
Oh, yes. If only, you know. No.